tonight on the News at 6. Lewis and Clark County Public Health investigates after a weekend concert draws multiple COVID-19 related complaints. Plus, the campaign over marijuana legalization is heating up. Who is getting involved?
From Montana's news leader, this is MTN News at 6.
Good evening. Welcome to the News at 6. I'm Marian Davidson. Thanks for joining us this evening. As of today, no Montana county remains untouched by COVID-19. This morning, the state reported that Petroleum County recorded its first case of the virus. Now all 56 Montana counties have had at least one case. Montana is also approaching 5,000 active cases of COVID-19, and additional deaths have pushed the state total to just shy of 200 people. Around 2/3 of all Montana cases are considered recovered. Lewis and Clark County Public Health has asked the county attorney's office to investigate after a concert was held in the Helena Valley on Saturday. Public Health received multiple complaints about COVID-19 restrictions allegedly being violated before, during, and after the concert. Complaints about the event include not following the mask mandate, the attendance cap, or social distancing guidelines. Organizers say the free concert Saturday was held to celebrate freedom and unity and help with the general mental health of the community. Organizer Jerry Steed told MTN the event plan was approved by the county, which included signs about COVID-19 guidelines. However, Steed said he believes it would be against the Constitution to force people to leave for not following them. The county is currently having its highest number of active COVID-19 cases since the pandemic began. Public Health is urging people to follow the restrictions.
We want our businesses and our schools to stay open. We want our economy to be able to get back on the right track again. We need to support our hospital. We need to help our hospital partners maintain and not get overwhelmed by an increase of people coming into the hospital that need care because of the COVID virus.
And it is now up to the county attorney to determine whether any action will be taken. Steed says he is not looking for a fight and understands Public Health is trying to help. However, he said he plans to fight any action taken against the event. All right, now it's time for First Weather with Chief Meteorologist Curtis Grevenitz.
Well, this was a big fire that blew up here over the state this weekend, the Yogo fire out in the Little Belt Mountains here. We're going to have more on that coming up, but we don't want more of this. And over the next several days, still looking at very, very high fire danger here, and some increased activity on Montana wildfires, including a new fire up there in Lincoln County as well. More on that coming up in the forecast. But what do we need? We need a nice, cold, wet storm to come in, and we've got some precipitation that'll be moving through a lot of the west as we get into this weekend here. But until the weekend, we all should be worried about wildfires here, and without any lightning, any of these fires are going to be human caused somehow. Time is running out, isn't it always? But time is running out with the sunshine and the warmth here, hopefully with the fire danger too, because we've got below average autumn weather here for a change. It's been pretty warm for most of this season thus far. I'll have more of the full forecast plus Weatherwise a little later on in the show.
All right, thanks for that, Curtis. With ballots set to go out to many Montana voters this week, the campaign over marijuana legalization in the state is continuing to heat up. MTN's Jonathan Ambarian reports on new groups that are getting involved and on the money that is being spent.
In Helena Monday, several conservation organizations gathered to throw their support behind a proposal to legalize recreational marijuana in Montana. They pointed to the revenues it could raise for public lands.
Funding our public lands owned by the state of Montana. Places like this, these are the treasures of the treasure state. These votes are votes for those public lands.
Representatives from Montana Conservation Voters, the Montana Wildlife Federation, Wild Montana Action Fund, and the Trust for Public Land backed Initiative 190 and Constitutional Initiative 118 during an event at Spring Meadow Lake. I-190 would set up a regulated marijuana system, including a 20% tax on sales. CI-118 would let the state limit sales to those 21 and older. The measures would set aside nearly half of the marijuana tax revenue for public lands programs, primarily for improving wildlife habitat, but also for things like state parks and trails. Overall, a state analysis estimates Fish, Wildlife, and Parks could receive $19 million a year by 2025. Aaron Murphy of Montana Conservation Voters said the country is moving towards a more accepting view of marijuana.
So we see this as an opportunity that's coming our way no matter what. So we'd rather get ahead of it and make sure that our public lands get the funding from that they deserve.
Leaders with Wrong for Montana, a committee opposing the legalization effort, say they believe there would be negative impacts to making marijuana more available that wouldn't justify the extra revenue.
I don't see why we want to get an extra $25 million in our state coffers by addicting 110,000 Montanans to marijuana. That sounds crazy to me.
According to recently filed financial documents, New Approach Montana, the group behind the legalization initiatives, raised another $1.8 million in the last month. Much of that funding came from a national group called the North Fund, which has given nearly $5 million to the effort. Wrong for Montana filed finance documents for its first month. It brought in just over $78,000, including from groups like the Montana Family Foundation and Montana Contractors Association. It has spent much of that on billboards and digital ads. And Montanans can expect to see more about these initiatives in the coming weeks. New Approach Montana has already spent several $1 million reserving TV ad time for the month of October. In Helena, Jonathan Amberian, MTN News.
And keep your eye on your mailbox. Ballots are set to be mailed to most voters in Montana counties on Friday. And still ahead on the news at 6, a big move in Helena. Why two huge and iconic statues were temporarily relocated. Coming up next.
You're watching MTN News at 6.
Welcome back to the news at 6. Workers relocated a couple of Helena heavyweights at the Montana Historical Society this morning. MTN's John Riley reports from the Capitol.
Light had barely begun to fall upon the Helena Valley when crews began the work of moving two 2.5-ton sculptures at the Montana Historical Society. The symbol of the pros and the herd bull are some of the most iconic pieces in the state's care. In order to get ready for the construction of the Montana Heritage Center, the steel and bronze titans needed to move.
The contractors are being really careful, and we're confident that they're doing a good job and that the sculptures will be safe in their temporary locations.
Measuring 24 feet wide and 7 feet high, the Sioux artist created the sculpture in 1990 with the assistance of Billings artist James Hadcock.
He actually used steel that he had found, like scrap metal steel, at the Cenex refinery in Laurel where he worked at the time, and so he was able to use that to create the sculpture.
After wrangling herd bull into place, crews made quick work of Symbol of the Pros by late Browning artist Bob Scriber. Upon his passing, his wife donated the 17-foot bronze along with more than 3,000 other pieces. In addition to being one of the state's most prolific sculptors, Scriver was also a well-respected taxidermist who prepared the remains of the white buffalo Big Medicine for the Historical Society. With the two sculptures moved, more dramatic work will soon begin for the Heritage Center.
I've been involved in the project from the very beginning, so to reach this point is just amazing and exciting. It's really fun as well. I think this is going to be such a great project for the people of Montana.
The two sculptures will be on display publicly in their temporary locations while work is being done. Then they'll be moved to their permanent homes. Reporting in Helena, John Riley, MTN News.
All right, now let's head over to Chief Meteorologist Curtis Grevenitz for what's coming up in weather.
Well, although the air quality is not that bad, most of the state looking at good air quality, that fire danger remains very, very high. More on the full forecast plus Weatherwise coming up next.
Weather starts now with Chief Meteorologist Curtis Grevenitz.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Who isn't loving this recent nice stretch of weather? But something is missing. You may not be missing it so much right now, but you will. In this week's Weatherwise, while sunshine is nice with the warm temperatures, much of Montana is desperately in need of rain as the state is diving into drought. Over the last several months, Montana has been diving headfirst into drought. Nearly half of the state right now is in some level of drought. 3 months ago, only 15% of the state was in the same position. Since the end of July, a very dry pattern has developed across the West, including Montana. Over that time, Helena, Great Falls, and Bozeman were in the top 10 driest periods on record for lowest precipitation recorded. Helena has been the driest ever for this period, with only about a half inch of rain having fallen. Nearly a third of the state is in moderate drought conditions. The impact usually means producers feed livestock supplementary hay. Crops are stressed and growth is poor. Fire restrictions are either implemented or continued. Only about 4% of the state is facing severe drought. The impact of this state of drought is hay and crop yields are low. Hay quality is poor, subsoil moisture is non-existent, fire danger is high, and air quality can be poor because of not only smoke but also dust. Trees and landscaping show signs of stress. Fall leaves fall quickly. Livestock ponds are low and dry. Water quality is monitored and wells are stressed. Drought increasing through the fall has a direct impact on fire season, making it longer. Things are going to get worse before they get better, as no significant precipitation is likely until we get into this weekend. And now, you're a little more weatherwise. And this coming weekend can't come soon enough, but a pretty scene from Lewistown here. I'm picking this camera because some of that smoke from the Yogo fire there in the Little Belt Mountains kind of heading over into the Judith Gap in the Lewistown area. Air quality is good right now. May get a little worse in the central part of the state, closer to that fire. How about the color in Helena? Blue sky and colorful trees. Yes, but that fire danger is high. Current temperature of 75. The record high is 81. We may be up close to records here over the next few days. Another beautiful shot here from Geyser looking back at the Highwood Mountains. A lot of blue out there. 74 degrees in Great Falls. West winds gusting up to about 25 miles per hour. Everybody, just about everybody, in the 60s and the 70s out there. 10, 15 degrees above normal for where we should be this time of year. The wind, Cup Bank, sustained wind at 25 miles per hour. That wind is going to continue here tonight and for Tuesday. So the fire danger will continue to be very, very high. There's the wind throughout the day, and then fortunately the wind will subside a bit as we go through Tuesday night into Wednesday. We've got high pressure that will be moving in, giving us a little break in the wind, but not a break really in the fire danger because it's just been so dry. Again, we've got the Yogo fire here and also a new fire, the Blacktail Mountain Fire. No, it's not Blacktail ski area. It's further towards the west of that, but just northeast of Trout Creek. Another pretty good fire emitting a nice smoke plume here. But let's take a look into the Little Belts here, and here's the latest on the Yogo fire. Almost 3,000 acres have burned. Pretty big fire here. Containment 0% right now. The estimated containment date is November 15th. Hopefully we get a nice cold wet storm coming in, and that's exactly what's going to come in this weekend. It will help with the fire situation. Probably will not, certainly will not end fire season for this year, for 2020. Look how much of the country very, very dry and very quiet here. The Yogo fire emitting some of that smoke again that could work its way across central Montana, especially tomorrow afternoon. Now, as we get into Thursday and Friday, some of that wildfire smoke from California could be headed back up into the state here like it did late last week into the beginning of this weekend. So we're not done with the hazy, smoky skies. But there is good news. There is a storm headed our way here. Not tomorrow. We'll have high fire danger with the wind tomorrow. Wednesday will be another dry day. Fortunately, the wind won't be that bad. And then getting into Thursday and Friday, some smoke could be headed up into the state. But look what's moving into California, Washington, and Oregon. That's a beautiful thing, seeing rainfall moving into California. And then into the weekend, Saturday, increasing clouds and likely we get some rain here Saturday night into Sunday morning. Snow levels likely dropping here on Sunday to between 5,000 and 6,000 feet. So that certainly will produce some rain and then some snow into the Little Belts on the Yogo fire here. For tonight, a warm night. We should be in the 30s for lows. Most towns will be in the 40s and even the 50s in some locations here. 40s around the Helena area, and here's the forecast for tomorrow. A windy day, very high fire danger, and look at this warmth, up near record highs, upper 70s to the lower 80s. Wednesday, a little break in the wind, slightly cooler temperatures, but still above average, and we've got a good amount of sunshine. Thursday, some of that smoke from California wildfires could work its way back into the state. The wind increases. Look at the temperatures again, more like summery with upper 70s and the lower 80s, and then into Friday, slightly cooler, but still on the breezy side. Here's the 7-day forecast into the weekend, and see the temperatures in the 70s and the 80s, but drop significantly Saturday night into Sunday. This isn't a monster storm, but we should have some rain showers, and again, like I said, some snow down to between 5,000 and 6,000 feet here. Not a huge accumulation, but certainly cooler and wetter as we get into the second half of the weekend, and some of that cool, windy weather will move through the Great Falls area through Sunday, and continued cool weather on Monday.
Coming up, a Montana National Guardsman is recognized as one of the best warriors.
Leader, you're watching MTN News at 6.
Welcome back to the News at 6. A Montana National Guardsman was recognized today for his performance as one of the Guard's best warriors. Sergeant Donald Swan received a meritorious service medal in a ceremony at Fort Harrison for his achievements in the Best Warrior competition. The competition tests soldiers on their physical fitness, proficiency with firearms, navigation, and other skills. Swan won the state competition for non-commissioned officers last year, then won a regional competition. Last month, he traveled to Camp Shelby in Mississippi to take part in a 3-day competition against the other top guardsmen. Swan says it was an honor to represent the Montana National Guard.
Being able to hone those skills in and refine them and take those skills to a national level and know that the skills that you're applying are going up against the 6 other higher tiered individuals in the nation, it speaks louder than words.
Swan says he could not have accomplished this without the support of his wife, who is also a member of the Guard. And the Montana Military Museum received its first Medal of Honor for display. The Medal of Honor belonged to Technician 4th Grade Laverne Parrish from Ronan, Montana. According to the museum, he was a medical aidman during World War II. While under intense enemy fire in the Philippine Islands, Parrish treated 37 wounded soldiers at the cost of his own life. Parrish received the Medal of Honor, making him one of 9 Montanans to receive the medal. The Parrish family donated the medal to the museum to continue to tell his story. They also donated Parrish's Purple Heart, Bronze Star, and the General Order awarding his Medal of Honor. The museum says it is an honor to have these items on display.
We feel very proud that we'll be able to have this on display here in the museum. That's our mission, is to tell those stories. So we've been looking forward to doing this. You can see by the nature of the documents here that we have something that's very special.
All right, and we'll wrap things up here on the News at 6 when we come back.
Leader, you're watching MTN News at 6.
Well, the annual Albuquerque Balloon Fiesta might have been canceled this year, but there are still balloons in the sky. Hot air balloons took flight at the Balloon Fall Fest in Albuquerque, New Mexico on Saturday. The city decided to hold the Fall Fest after COVID-19 postponed this year's 49th annual Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta. Dispersed balloon launches will be taking place from various parks around the city through October 11th. Liftoff takes place shortly after sunrise each day, and balloon crews will be spaced out and limited to 5 people. No spectators will be allowed at any of the launch locations.
Not a good day for flying balloons tomorrow with the wind. And not a good day for starting wildfires here, as fire danger will be high. A little lighter wind coming through on Wednesday. Thursday, wildfire smoke from California moving back into our skies. And yes, a big pattern change coming in here for later Saturday as some rain showers likely move in. Rain throughout a lot of the state Saturday night into Sunday. And also look at the colder temperatures. Snow back into the mountains coming through Saturday night and Sunday.
All right, and that does it for the News at 6. We'll be back here with your latest headlines tonight at 10. Thanks so much for watching.